Magnus Carlsen arrives late to the 2022 World Blitz Championship and only has 30 seconds on the clock, forcing him to activate disaster mode, a disaster for his opponents. The game begins with e4 and Kovalev kindly waited a few seconds and played calmly for Magnus to fully activate his supreme form and crush him. d4 and pawn takes pawn, a wise decision. I get better results in my games by capturing on d5, pawn takes pawn, knight f3, bishop de6, c4, knight f6, knight c3, castles. Pawn takes pawn. As we can see, Kovalev has 2 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock and spends 40 seconds to capture on d5. I'm not sure if he was making a game decision or giving Magnus time to reorganize. Rook e8 check, bishop e2, knight d7, castles h6, rook e1, and knight b6. It seems that Kovalev's extra pawn is going to fall because if queen b3, Magnus has knight takes pawn, knight takes knight, knight takes knight, and he can't take the knight with the queen because there's bishop takes h2 check, capturing the queen afterward. Kovalev plays knight e5, sacrificing the d4 pawn, but it wouldn't be good for Magnus due to a continuation that will never happen because Magnus is in disaster mode, and because of that, he makes the best move. Knight from b takes pawn, bishop of 3, ce6. Look how much I hate this opening. In some cosmic way, the black pieces have become better and are ahead in the game. The game has stopped being blitz and is now bullet. Kovalev has 34 seconds left and Magnus has 28 seconds. Kovalev played queen b3 and Magnus mimicked him. Knight takes knight, and if Magnus plays queen takes queen, he'll be hit with knight takes knight with a check on the ear to smarten up, a thing that will never happen to Magnus. They decided to exchange everything because they're almost out of time, and even with Magnus having doubled pawns, he's still ahead, both on the clock and on the board. bd2, knight d3, rook takes rook, bishop takes rook, rook a4. Without a doubt, I'd play bishop f4, aiming at this dog, but I think knight b4 balances the game. Bishop c3, now yes, bishop f4, forcing the knight to retreat to the pit. Kovalev is almost at the devil's doorstep, so his moves will be made on pure faith. King f7, a3, b4, rook c1, rook c4, rook d1, b4, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes bishop, and rook takes bishop. What a desperate position. If you make any tiny mistake, you'll be crushed by Magnus the Snake. Kovalev has almost no space left and almost no useful moves to make. It's so hard to play against Snack Carlsen. Rook d2, g5, f3, h5, king f2, h4, g3, pawn takes pawn, king e6, knight g2. Finally stop staring into the void and start seeing Carlsen's pieces. Knight e3, bishop e6. Things seem to be improving for Kovalev. He's really a strong player to be playing with less than 10 seconds for several moves against Marcos Carlos and still holding some balance, but it won't last forever. King e2, rook b3, king f2, rook b4, king e2, and Magnus silently refuses the draw with rook a4, king f2. If he plays rook b4, it's a draw. Bishop d7, g4, and rook a1, hiding in the middle of nowhere. Rook d1, rook a2, rook d2, b5, king e2, b4. I don't know about you, but I feel like I've seen this pawn reaching b4 before. Mandela effect. King d3, and it seems like it's almost a draw. Kovalev, the monster. Bishop b4 check, king c2, bishop c4, all perfumed, trying to seduce this stallion, but he will never succumb to such temptation. King b1, rook a8, king c2, rook e8.
Yo, big boy, come over here. I'm waiting for you.
This dog couldn't resist the temptation of this beautiful priestess, and now Magnus is about to create a passed pawn. Kovalev tries to survive with d5, rook e3, a move so strong, it hurt even me. I can't take this torture. Rook d4, b3 check, king d2, rook takes pawn, king takes pawn, rook b4, king c5, rook a4, rook f4. Another soul-crushing move. Kovalev almost fell out of his chair. Rook a6, king d4, rook d6 check, king e5, rook b6, rook takes pawn, rook g7 check, and king e1 already preparing to reset the board for the next players. g4, rook b8, f5, b4, rook b2, and then Kovalev resigns because it's too much suffering to play against Magnus the Snake. It turns out that the blitz game became bullet, which is true chess. The chess of faith. Kovalev was a true knight. delivering a fair game to Magnus, but little does he know the real reason Magnus was late.
No, faster! More! More speed! Magnus can handle you. You can pass one of the...
If you enjoyed the video, I'd love your like and comment to help engage the channel and monetize it so I can keep producing more content like this for you, for me, and of course, to buy some whey protein. I'm also leaving my $3 Patreon link below to support and motivate me to make more fun chess videos. What do you think of this type of chess content? On this channel, I'm aiming for something quite different, a humorous approach with dynamic editing. I'm signing off. Have a great day.